Hi again. Obviously, this is Catherine. Or you, you wouldn't be here, right? You know who this is. Um, so yesterday we did the guided meditation for healing of a wounded child or earlier version of ourselves, and I hope that you did that was helpful to you in thinking about that. And also to know that you can always go back and do it again. You can stop the video and spend as long as you want to with that earlier version of yourself. You can use that to work with other earlier versions of yourself if you wish. If you have questions, please feel free to put those in any of the comments. I do monitor that and I will respond about that stuff. So please feel free. This is meant to be sort of an interactive thing. You know, I put stuff out there, and then if you have questions or comments or thoughts, put them down. Because again, you know, we're all on one level or another sort of having the same experience in a lot of cases. So, you know, you reaching out and saying something, even if it feels like it would only maybe pertain to you, believe it or not, it very often will spark something in someone else and be helpful to somebody else. So do remember that. Today we're going to redirect a little bit in our shadow work, and we're going to focus back on routines because um, 10 days ago now, we would have been trying to start some new routines. That would have been part of what we were talking about in terms of the new moon, this new moon in Virgo, being something that is a really good time to start again. It was also Rosh Hashanah, and that is a time of New Year and renewal in Judaism. And so it's just a good time. Any time is a good time to start again, but some have a little bit more ceremony around them, I guess. So we were using that. So my first question is, how's the routine going? I did last week talk a little bit about, what happens when you're trying to start a routine and you get, get a monkey wrench thrown in, whether it's a golden monkey wrench, like a visit from an adult child, or a slightly stickier monkey wrench. In my case, your child's computer has gone bust and you live an hour away from the nearest Apple store. So you have to deal with that. So the question is, how is your routine going? How have you, I'm sure even in the first 10 days, you've probably had some bumps just like I have. How is it going? How did you handle those bumps? The other question I want to know, or the other thing that occurs to me, is that often when we're trying to start some new stuff, when we're trying to start new habits, new routines, when we're trying to make a shift for ourselves, a lot of times we'll take on too much, right? And we will try to make too many changes. Okay, I'm gonna get healthy with my diet, and I'm gonna start an exercise routine, and I'm gonna work on my shadows, and I'm gonna, I am gonna be this like totally new person. And we try to do everything at once instead of breaking it up into bite-sized pieces that are easier to deal with, right? And so have you done that? And if you've maybe tried to take on a lot at the same time, have you begun to feel overwhelmed? One. Two, have you started to beat up on yourself because you're not doing it? And even if you didn't attempt too much or a lot, are you, when you've fallen down, how have you responded to yourself? Have you responded to yourself in a kind way? Or have you beaten yourself up and told yourself things like, oh, I can never change. I can't do this. I can't do different things. I can't have a routine. It's not for me. What are the stories? Again, check in with those stories. What stories are you telling yourself about your ability to follow through, about your doing this? If you're not following through, what are the stories you're telling yourself? And is this some form of self-sabotage? Does this go back to the I'm not worthy shadow? I don't deserve good things. I don't deserve to be healthy or to have a body that I'm comfortable in, however that's defined. That I don't deserve to be strong, that I don't, deserve to be happier, healthier, all of those good things, more joyful, right? And these can be really deep-seated core beliefs. But again, one of the ways to get at them is in this time, as we're trying new things, How are you responding to challenges? Are you challenging yourself? Are you thinking to yourself, okay, maybe I did try to take on too much or more than was necessary. Let me back that down and just try something small. Because my suggestion would always to be try to something small first, right? A small change, right? One small change. And then after 30 days of one small change, when you kind of have that worked in and you feel good about it and you figured out where it should be and how, and you're not trying to force it in, right? Then take on something else. Then take on a new thing, right? One thing at a time. Be kind to yourself. If you've taken on too much, okay. Pick one. Don't try 5, pick one. Don't be overwhelmed. You're okay. You're beautiful. You're trying, right? But we want to do. And if we're going to do, we need to make sure that we set ourselves up for success and that when we're challenged, when we fall down, we're kind to ourselves and we just get up and we dust ourselves off and we say, okay, it's a new day and I'm going to keep going, right? So that's what I'm going to leave you with. Thank you for being here. Have a great day. Feel free to respond. I will get back to you. Mwah. Big love.